What's up guys, MJ here bringing you another what if discussion, and I brought with me the Golden Scouter. What's going on, bro?
Not too much, and hello everyone, it is I, the Golden Scouter.
But we're going to be talking about what if Gohan, Son Gohan, transformed into a Super Saiyan during the Saiyan Arc. And if you're a big fan of Z, then you know the Saiyan Arc was one of the biggest, I guess, emotional arcs. You know, a lot of people were, I guess, basically murdered in that arc. It was one of the most tension-filled arcs that comes to mind when you talk about the entire Dragon Ball franchise in a whole. Son Gohan, he was put in a predicament where Krillin was out, everyone was dying left and right. Ten Shinhan was out, he was gone. Jiaozu was out, he was gone. Yamcha was out, he was gone. And Piccolo sacrificed himself. Now we know from the manga, and is this correct, Golden Scouter? Son Gohan was scouted to be 981 before the battle started, right?
That is correct, but it's kind of open to interpretation where his full power was, or if that is his full power.
That's right. Plus, I remember when Nappa scouts Gohan and Krillin and Piccolo in the beginning of the Saiyan Arc. Vegeta actually says these people are able to change their battle power, so these may not even be accurate readings. You know what I mean? So, who knows? I think for the sake of this video, you think it's just fine to just round off Gohan at 1,000? Because that would put him a bit weaker than a Cyberman, right?
Yeah, that'd be fine. I mean, Gohan was actually kind of scared of the Cybermen, so that'd be pretty plausible, I guess.
Also, again, guys, things are a bit weird. You can't really take the Daizenshuu stuff, and you can't really take the guides and reach up 100% accurate. Just saying that right there. So we're just kind of going off interpretation on what the manga says, what the guides say, and also just our interpretation of watching the series. So Gohan scouts in 981. We know when he gets enraged later, when Piccolo sacrifices himself in the manga, is at 2800. This is stated by Vegeta himself. And so we can just round off Gohan at being, let's just say 1,000. Now, let's say Scouter, let's say Piccolo sacrifice pushed Gohan over the edge. Let's say Gohan actually went and turned into a Super Saiyan. You know, Krillin is knocked out or incapacitated. You know, Piccolo just sacrificed himself. All these people, all of his dad's friends are dead in front of him. So if we take the Daizenshuu 7 multiply, which is 50 times, right?
Correct.
So we do 1,000 times 50, obviously that's 50,000. Now, if we, obviously scale Nappa in them, we can say Nappa is easily between 4,000, which is what Daizenshuu puts him, and weaker than Goku, who's over 8,000. And obviously in the Namek arc, we find out that Vegeta was roughly around 18k. So, Scouter, what happens here when Gohan reaches a power level of 50,000? Using the Super Saiyan transformation? What happens here?
So what I think would happen here, obviously the Scouter, Vegeta's Scouter would go absolutely out of whack and break, and Vegeta would be like, Nappa, get out of the way, and Nappa wouldn't be able to get out of the way because at this point, Gohan is so fast and has great reflexes that even if Nappa dodges the attack, the Masenko, Nappa's done for. And then after that, it really depends on whether Vegeta wants to make a Power Ball so he can turn into an Ozaru. And if Vegeta manages to do that, I think that would be enough to have Gohan kind of revert back just due to fear. Because this video is partly inspired by Moscow X's video, so I think that Gohan would be drained after that point, where Vegeta turns into an Ozaru if Vegeta manages to get it off, the Ozaru transformation. But there also could be that scenario where Gohan just immediately after killing Nappa goes straight for Vegeta and then just kills him. But what do you think would happen, MJ? Right away, just first thoughts.
Well, I think what would happen is obviously Gohan would transform, he would get that huge power boost, he would fire off the Masenko, and it would hit, Nappa and obviously kill him. Nappa would be disintegrated, basically. From that point on, we can probably assume, just due to the fact that Goku had trouble maintaining the form and he had to train for a year, and then even Kaba, supposedly did have a bit of trouble, I guess, maybe maintaining the form. We can headcanon. We can just probably assume the form would diminish pretty quickly on Gohan, because Gohan is pretty weak at that point. I don't know if his body would be able to handle such a drastic power change. So it probably would diminish real quick, but I think Gohan would be able to get off at least one hit on Vegeta. Like, just at least one burst dash right towards Vegeta and one swift hit to the gut. And I think that would probably fuck Vegeta up. I think that would probably leave Vegeta, like, coughing up blood. You know what I mean? I think at that point, we can probably assume the form would diminish by then, just, again, going off the fact that the form is strenuous on Gohan's body. And you brought up a good point. But here's where it changes, Scouter. In the manga, now, this is mentioned in the Battle Power Guide from Gonsenshin. I'll link that down below. But Vegeta is actually using the Power Ball. He becomes an Uzaru, and he's forced to create an artificial moon, right, with that Power Ball. Mm-hmm. But doing this, it noticeably lowers his power, so it seems his battle power at this time wouldn't be the full 180,000. However, though, Goku does note that not even a Kaioken times 5 would work on Uzaru, so Vegeta's power level should still be greater than 40k. Now, I'm assuming this is because it was an artificial moon, and plus Vegeta was also tired. So Vegeta didn't get the full 10 times boost. So if we say that Vegeta's left coughing up blood, he's completely fucked up. He doesn't know what this entity is. Like, obviously he can assume it may be a Super Saiyan, but at the same time, he's not gonna know this kid that just rashed out at him. He may go for the 10 times amplifier, which is the Uzaru transformation, but at the same time, it's an artificial moon, and plus, he's gonna be weakened. So he won't be at the full 180,000. Now, I think by this time, Goku should be arriving. I think. How does that affect what happens?
I think the first thing he would notice is that his son has widely surpassed him, because there's definitely no doubt that Goku did not feel Gohan's ki whenever he would transform into the Super Saiyan.
Yeah, definitely.
So the first thing is, I think Goku would recognize his son's potential a lot sooner than when he did in the Cell Games arc. But also I think he would probably ask Gohan for his help. Like, actually try and get Gohan in that state again, so that way maybe they could stand a chance against Vegeta, who is an Ozaru at this point.
Oh, he has the Sensu Beans, right? So he can get Krillin and Gohan back on their feet, right? He can get Krillin back on his feet, and he can rejuvenate Gohan from the strenuous transformation, right? So
that's correct.
So he would have his little mini army there. Now, obviously, we don't know how strong this hypothetical Vegeta would be, because if we're going off the fact that Gohan had a 50,000 power level, and then, he punched Vegeta straight in the gut, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that went straight through Vegeta, but for the sake of this video, let's just say it didn't, and Vegeta just had maybe, like, internal bleeding, or he was just really messed up to the point where he was coughing up blood. So we don't know how weak this Uzaru form would be, but I would still have to say that if Gohan has not trained to use his form, which obviously he hasn't, he won't be able to go back into it, so that leaves Goku with the Kaioken, right? Do you think Goku with the Kaioken plus Krillin plus Yajirobe, who's hiding, and Gohan and Vegeta, who's tired, you think they'll just go ahead and get the W here?
I think that they would. I mean, I think that things would play out kind of similar to before, but it would be kind of like a battle royale with Vegeta, kind of how like it was in Dragon Ball Xenoverse. So yeah. So I would say that let's just assume that everything just happens kind of the same, but Goku instead doesn't get critically injured because he's not fighting one-on-one with Vegeta this time. And Gohan, of course, is a Super Saiyan, or at least has the ability to become a Super Saiyan later in the future. How do you think that this affects the Freeza arc? Because the first thing that comes to mind for me is when Gohan got enraged against Dodoria, he would turn Super Saiyan there and just kind of kick through Dodoria like he did a Cell Jr. What do you think?
Well, I was actually going to bring this up before we get into the Namek arc. I feel like this would affect the Namek arc greatly, is would Vegeta even be alive? Because if you have Gohan and Krillin who witness what Vegeta's done, they're not going to want Vegeta to leave alive, especially Krillin. And Goku may not actually argue with him in this position, because remember, Goku didn't get to have that one-on-one all-out brawl against him. You know what I mean? He's not going to see Vegeta as the same person that he saw Vegeta in the official 42 volumes of the manga. He's just going to see Vegeta as a villain who killed all his friends. Now, it depends on how hard fought of a fight Oozaru Vegeta gives Kaioken times 2 and 3 Goku at this point in the time, which I'm sure he will. I think Vegeta would still be a force to be reckoned with, so Goku would still be forced to use the Kai. What do you think? Like, do you think Vegeta would even be alive during the Namek arc? Like, how do you think that affects it? Because he was a big part of that arc.
Yeah, that's a good point, though, because, I mean, you're right. The whole thing with Goku having that one-on-one fight and having the beam struggle and just being pushed beyond his Kaioken times 2, that is what really, I don't know, just kind of got Goku excited and that whole...
And that's what wanted to made him fight again, you know, because Krillin was ready to execute Vegeta and he stopped him. He's like, no, I want to fight him again when he comes back to Earth, you know what I mean? So that may not be there in this hypothetical version of the Saiyan arc, you know what I mean? That's
true. But I would say that it's safe to say that Vegeta would have probably died. I don't think that Goku would have had that, I don't know, just the whole, like, I want to challenge you again, Vegeta, so don't kill him, Krillin.
Okay, so Goku is not too critically injured. Maybe, just maybe, he goes with Gohan and Krillin to Namek. Do you think that's a possibility?
I think that would probably happen.
Okay, so they go to Namek. They get there. Now, here's the thing. So Vegeta's not there, and they're able to just start scouting the Dragon Balls. Obviously, though, when they get there, they're going to see that they're not alone. Because remember, Vegeta and Nappa, up until the point to where things changed, they were still having their conversations with the scouters on. At least Vegeta was. So Frieza still overheard everything about Namek. You know, so Frieza would still be on Namek. That would still be there. That would still be a part of the story. Now, that leaves it up to this. What would happen? Do you think Goku would automatically want to challenge Dodoria and Zarbon? Or do you think he would want to play it out? Like, what do you think happens there?
I think that, honestly, that's a really good question. Because Goku being there changes a lot of the dynamic. Because the whole thing about Gohan and Krillin is that they were having to lay low the whole time. And Goku has never seemed like that type of person. So I think that Goku would probably try and get Dodoria and Zarbon by themselves, kind of like how Vegeta did. But I don't know if Goku would actually kill them unless if they were actually threatening Gohan or Krillin, just like right there in front of him.
That is true. Goku is someone who wants to constantly fight strong people. Obviously, he'll sense Zarbon and Dodoria and Frieza's ki. Now, I don't think he would be stupid enough to go face-to-face against Frieza, but I think when it came down to it, he may actually go face-to-face with Dodoria and Zarbon, like you mentioned. He may try to get them alone. Let's just say Goku was damaged a little bit, and obviously he healed. I don't think he would have gotten as big of a boost, and obviously he wouldn't have had the gravity chamber. Do you want to just say he's like, what, maybe 10,000 on the Namek arc?
I would say around, I would probably put him closer to 8,000 just because, depending on whether or not he got the Zenkai. If he got
like really injured or not, right?
Yeah, I would say if he got a Zenkai, I'd probably put him about 10,000 though. 10,000, 11,000.
Okay, so basically he hasn't changed that much. He's only gotten a couple thousand up here. So let's say he does try to get Dodoria or Zarbon by themselves. Now, obviously, he can use the Kaioken times 2 pretty stably. So that would put him around 20,000. I could probably see him in a decently hard-fought battle taking out probably Dodoria. I'm not too sure about Zarbon because Zarbon still has his transformation.
Yeah, I think what would happen is that Goku would fight Dodoria. He would use the Kaioken times 2, and then after he got outmatched by that, he'd go Kaioken times 3 and then kill him. Or if Gohan found Dodoria terrorizing that village and about to kill Dende.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's right.
I think Gohan would kill Dodoria and would be able to escape Zarbon no problem. Because at this point, I think that Frieza is still all my underlings have to deal with this. If this is beneath me, I'm not going to deal with this myself just yet. Because I mean, he even called the Ginyu Force after Dodoria and Zarbon were killed instead of dealing with everyone himself.
Now, we saw that Goku was able to pull off the Kaioken times 4, but only during the beam struggle. let's say he's able to do it now. Kaioken times 4, that would be enough to take out Zarbon, would it not? If he could get one clean shot at him?
I think so, easily. I mean, Vegeta caught him off guard pretty good.
But then again, that leaves Goku completely messed up. The thing that changes this dramatically is if Goku was not that injured, went to Namek with them, so he didn't get the gravity training. You know, he didn't get the training the 100 times gravity. So obviously now you have Gohan, Krillin there, and Goku who's completely, I guess, I don't want to say he's out of it, but his body's probably fucked up for using the Kaioken times 4. It just seems pretty dire at this time, bro. Like, I would think Krillin and Gohan at this point in time would probably have to leave Goku with Bulma, or maybe Krillin takes Goku with him to the Grand Elder. Who knows? I mean,
yeah, I think the next point of this what-if scenario, the best possible direction it could go is for Goku to get his potential unlocked. And I have not seen Seth the Programmer's video on what if Goku got his potential unlocked by the Great Elder, so I'm not exactly sure where he would be. Where do you think Goku would be after he got his potential unlocked?
It's a bit weird because it's like, okay, so does the Kaioken count as his potential? Like the power that he can output and amplify that his body can take, or no?
I wouldn't think so, because the Kaioken is a technique, not necessarily a transformation. Because when Gohan got his potential unlocked from Elder Kaioshin, the Super Saiyan is a transformation, not necessarily a technique. So I think Gohan, even in his ultimate form, could use the Kaioken hypothetically. But we're kind of going off on a tangent here.
So with Goku getting his... Okay, let's say Gohan gets his potential unlocked too. So Gohan and... Oh, Krillin's the first one that gets it done, right? Because they saved that village. Uh-huh. So Krillin will get his unlocked. He takes Goku and Gohan back there. And so Gohan will get his unlocked. That puts Gohan... It's a bit weird because would Gohan have gotten a Zenkai after transforming into a Super Saiyan?
I'm not too sure.
It's a bit weird, right? Like, as far as how strong Gohan would be. I think it's safe to say he would, after getting his potential, after the transformation, after fighting Uzaro Vegeta, after healing, and after getting his potential unlocked, I think it's safe to say that Gohan would probably be above Saiyan Arc Vegeta. At least a good amount. I think that's a safe assumption. I'm not too sure if he would be able to take on, like, Zarbon in a one-on-one fight, but he would be pretty much above, I think, Saiyan's Arc Vegeta. You know what I mean?
Yeah, basically, if you're going by like some of the guidebooks and all that for the Frieza saga, which are all plausible numbers.
But here's another hypothetical part that we didn't talk about. Would Goku have tried to train Gohan to master whatever transformation he used in the Saiyan arc, which is the Super Saiyan transformation?
I'm not too sure, because I mean, Goku couldn't even get a handle of like how Gohan could get a hold of his rage in the Cell arc, because I mean he was just relying on Gohan just randomly getting angry for some reason to unlock his Super Saiyan 2 form. So that's a good question. I'm not too sure.
So maybe we can just assume that we leave SSJ for Gohan out of here, right? Let's just say that he can't use it at his disposal, right?
That's right. I would just say just at the moments of this arc where he just gets really pissed off, like against like Frieza. So I think that Gohan would probably be able to kill Frieza at that point then.
So, okay. So, Goku, Krillin, and Gohan get their potential unlocked. At this point in time, now, if it's following the same time period of the manga, then when Vegeta showed up after Gohan got his potential unlocked, that's when the Ginyu Force showed up, correct?
That's right.
So, how do Goku, Krillin, and Gohan handle the Ginyu Force? So Goku, if we say that he's either at let's just say he's 10,000. Okay, let's just say he's 10,000 for the sake of this video for the Namek arc. He was over 8,000 in the Saiyan arc. Let's just say that maybe, just maybe, he received a Zenkai from his Zoro fight. Let's just put him at 10,000. That would only give him about what, a 1.2 boost, right?
That's right.
So let's say he's around 10,000 in the Namek arc. So he goes and gets his potential unlocked. How strong do you think that puts him?
Oh, man. I would say, just using simple math, like, maybe 5 times stronger. I don't think Goku would be as strong as he got training under 100 times gravity and getting Zenkai after Zenkai after Zenkai. So, Maybe 50 or 60,000, like what Ginyu was estimating.
Okay, alright. So, Goku, Krillin, and Gohan would probably go take on the Ginyu Force because they know they're going to have to get through them if they want to go get some of the Dragon Balls, right? So, they're going to take on the Ginyu Force. Now, Goku alone should probably be able to handle Raccoon, Jason, Burter, right? And Guldo if he's at 60k, because that was what Ginyu was estimating him at, and Ginyu seemed to be pretty okay with that. You know, like, oh yeah, he's 60k, so maybe his warriors weren't that strong, you know what I mean? So like Raccoon being like what, like 40 to 50k in between there?
Yeah, I have him right at 40,000, but that works too. Just anywhere between 40 and 50.
So Goku should be able to handle him, especially if he has the Kaioken times 2 at his disposal, right?
Easily. I think if Goku's right there and not like getting there how he usually does, like how he's always just arriving at the perfect time. If he was there, I think he would sweep through all 4 of the weaker members, no problem.
Okay, so that leaves Ginyu now. Goku would obviously take on the leader, and now he has Gohan and Krillin with them, so maybe it's like a 3-on-1 situation because Krillin and Gohan didn't have to necessarily fight the other members of the Ginyu Force, so they're there. So you have Gohan, I would assume, easily a good amount, a safe assumption above Saiyan Arc Vegeta, especially in this hypothetical version. So we can say he's probably sitting at like maybe 20 to 22,000. You have Krillin sitting at a good number, and then you have obviously Goku at 60k. Now 60k times 4, that would probably put him around 240,000. So if he's able to pull off another 4 times with the Kaioken, assuming he can do it again, he easily takes out Ginyu in my opinion. But the problem with that though is that's probably going to fuck up his body again though, right?
Right, and then at that point he might actually need to go into the rejuvenation chamber, like how it was in the beginning.
Okay. So Ginyu's gone. Now, how do they handle Frieza? Let's say they actually go raid the ship, you know what I mean? Krillin and Gohan take out the members, the other, I guess, low foot soldiers. Frieza's probably gone on his little mission to find the Elder, to find the Elder for the password. So what happens here when he comes back?
So I think the wishes would play out basically the same, but the thing is, without Vegeta there to hold off Frieza, I think that Gohan and Krillin would probably die before Piccolo could get there and actually help them fight. But at this point, Frieza wouldn't have someone to egg him on to go into his second form. So Piccolo might actually be able to kill Frieza pretty easily. Just assuming as long as Frieza doesn't transform directly into his third or fourth form.
So, guys, what he's talking about here is whenever Frieza goes and asks for the password, he encounters Nell, and he battles Nell, and Nell's able to hold him off. So when Piccolo gets wished back, Piccolo will most likely probably still encounter Nell, assuming everything follows the exact same way the manga did. And if he fuses with Nell, that should put him well over 1 million, especially since Frieza was stated to be over 1 million in his second form, you know what I mean? So, when Piccolo gets there, remember, Frieza can't sense ki. So he probably won't know that Piccolo is this strong. In fact, I think even in Kai, he mentioned something about how these Namex are, I can't believe I missed one, or something like that. So he didn't even realize he was fighting this incredibly strong person when Piccolo first showed up, you know what I mean? He didn't know what he was encountering. So you make a good point. If Frieza just straight up killed Gohan and Krillin, and then maybe he goes into his ship, or he goes, who knows what he would do after that. Once Piccolo finds Frieza, Piccolo probably has a good shot. I would say probably what, I would say a 70-30, bro, of killing him, because, I mean, Piccolo probably wouldn't egg him on. He wouldn't even know Frieza had transformations, you know what I mean?
That's true. And also another point I forgot to bring up is if Frieza killed Krillin first, Gohan would probably turn into a Super Saiyan there. So do you think Gohan would actually be able to kill Frieza before even Piccolo gets there?
That is true. If we just assume and use a safe assumption. Again, guys, we're just using safe assumptions here. Don't take what we're saying to the bank, you know what I mean? So if we just use a safe assumption and say that Gohan at this point in time is just well above Saiyan Arc Vegeta, let's say he's what, probably about 25k. I think he's actually stated to be stronger than that, but let's just say he's 25k. 25k times 50, that puts him at about 1,250,000, right?
Yep, that's right.
So yeah, he would. Yeah, again, if Frieza's not wearing his scouter, or if if Frieza's not wearing his scouter, he can't sense ki. He would not know what he's up against. So who knows if Frieza might have jumped into his form, but at the same time, I feel like if Krillin gets killed first, you brought up a good point. Gohan transforms. Now that he has at a higher power level of 25k, he may be able to sustain the Super Saiyan transformation a bit longer than what he did in the Saiyan arc. And then you have Piccolo on his way. I just do not see Frieza winning, especially since Vegeta's not there to egg him on, you know what I mean? They're not going to know Frieza has these hidden transformations.
Oh no, and especially since Gohan using the Super Saiyan transformation, I would assume he's a loose cannon. Because he already kind of was acting a little bit crazy in the Cell arc. Because he was like, I want to make Cell suffer. It's not enough for him to be sitting there, like, basically, like, decomposing in front of my eyes.
That's true. If we go off our own hypothetical version of the Saiyan arc, I can see him being very loose, you know, just kind of like all over the place, just nailing, you know, Frieza, you know what I mean, shot after shot, in my opinion. And Frieza, at that point in time, I don't think he would be able to handle any punch or any blast coming from someone at over 1,000,000, you know what I mean, especially in his first form, especially if he's not expecting it, you know. Yeah. So I think it's probably safe to say that they probably get out of this without Goku even encountering Frieza, which that's a main thing, right? That's a huge part of the whole Frieza and Namek arc, is the eventual showdown between the Emperor and Son Goku, right?
And that's right.
But guys, comment down below. What do you think? Do you agree with our analysis? Do you think things would have went a bit differently? How do you think Gohan would have fared against Nappa Vegeta as a Super Saiyan? How do you think the Namek arc would have turned out? Make sure to comment down below. I'm always open to hearing your thoughts. If you want us to do more what ifs, drop that down below. I'm always open to doing that. Make sure you go check out Golden Scouter. His link is in the description. Also, like this video, share with your friends. Till next time.